All right, good morning. We have got a little earlier start today. Dew's all over the grass, and we're leaving by 8. We have, well, we've been using the Nat Geo Trail illustrated maps, and the first day it has the mileage on it. We figured it 12 something miles and ended up being close to 17. The next day was supposed to be 7, 8, 7, 9, something like that. I forget exact, but ended up being over 10. So the map today shows 11 something. So we're expecting 15, 14, 15. So we decided to get us an early start. We'll be wet from the grass, but the first thing we have to do is cross this creek or river right here anyway. So and I believe we've opted to, we could either go down the meadow trail, which is marshy and muddy and wet all day long, or there's a trail that goes out alongside the mountain that'll be drier, theoretically, hopefully. So we're going to try that one. This campsite was pretty nice. We actually heard a wolf howl this morning. There's a lot of logs and stuff around camp that have been dug through. Not recently, there was no sign of anything fresh, but good campsite. There's tent sites for solidly for 2, 3 was tight, but we pretty much slept on the top of each other. But campsite 9A2. Burr. Oh yeah, nice and warm. I would take one of the upper creek crossings for this because they were like 80 degrees that we did yesterday. This one is not. It's like 32.5 degrees. Burr. All right. Mosquitoes are ugly. It's still early morning and it's cool, so they haven't gone away. The mosquitoes like it warm or colder, chilly or not cold. So they swarm us in the morning, but by afternoon they die out. Here comes a big open meadow. I was hoping to have this going to walk out here and see something really cool other than the meadow. Another view of the Tetons from the back side, the west side. I don't see any animals. There should be a herd of elk or something just grazing out here. Okay, so we had us a group decision because we're trying to decide how much water crossings we're going to do and how long we have to keep our wet shoes on. Some of our feet are tired of being wet, but not all of us. But this is marshy and boggy, and we're going to keep our wet shoes on for like 2.5 miles, and then we're going to cross the river, and then I believe we can put our dry shoes on for those that want to. And then there'll be just a couple of crossings. If we take the other route, it would be an immediate river crossing. And then the map shows like 4 or 5 pretty good stream crossings where we'd have to swap back and forth. So with all that said, we are taking the meadow trail, the bog trail. It's actually not too bad so far. There will be a suspension bridge, which I was excited to go on. Well, and there's water snakes everywhere.
Water snakes?
Yeah, there's one right there.
I see the grass moving.
Anyway, gonna go cruise that bridge, and then about I think it's 6/10 of a mile, 8/10 of a mile, something after the bridge we cross, which will, I think, be nice because it'll be a little warmer, both the water and the day. Anyway, proper Bechler Meadows Trail. And this is July. Honestly, I don't know. We started the 17th, 18th, 19th. It's either the 19th or the 20th. It's 23. It's wet. So early morning momentum is a true thing. One of our party had to stop to find a tree, and Dan didn't want to lose momentum. We're cooking. We're doing about 2.6 miles an hour so far this morning. Granted, it's still early and we haven't hit the heat of the day, but Dan's about a half mile ahead of us. Tina's in between. Steph in the front. And Alex and Sandra are just crossing a little creek behind us. So we're spread out over a good chunk, but we'll catch up again. There's another spectacular view of the Tetons. They just keep getting bigger and bigger the closer we get. I'm starting to see more buffalo trails on the, or tracks on the trail. Well, that might be harder to do with one hand than I thought. Yeah, they do only say punishable by fine, only one person at a time, and I get it now. But this was part of the joy of this trip, was being able to cross this. I was excited at the prospect of it. Next! That's pretty sway. Awesome. Next! That was awesome. Think we could get Mom across this? I'd give her a piggyback ride.
It's not as rocky until you get up in this latter half. There was this bridge when we had to cross that crotch deep water.
Right?
I know. It's true. This is a pretty big old bridge.
Said they need to free up some taxpayer dollars. Get some bridges in here, but then everybody would come.
What makes this an adventure is having to do the things you have to do on it. Don't lose your shoes.
Now you said that, they'll just fall off.
So how far has it been up to this point?
I'd have to look. We've been gone hour and 55 minutes and traveled 4 miles, 0.14. Almost, 4 and a 15th.
Oh.
That last turn bumper was apart.
Oh.
That thoroughfare this guy must have come and fixed it.
Yeah, but that made it wobbly, worse than it is.
Yeah.
I'm even behind you on 4.1. What did you say?
4.14.
Okay, and I'm 4.1, so that's
Oh.
the first that I've been behind.
Yeah.
Wow.
I want to see some cartwheels and some handstands, something. Yeah.
You wouldn't mind.
Parallel bars, you got the cables.
Pirouette action.
You bet.
Where's your spins and twirls?
Get up, walk on the wires.
I mean, just like that. That was worth the trip right there. Just either side of it. Tina, if you go a little left, it starts getting sandy and less rocky. Yeah, they're a little chilly. less muddy. I don't know about easier, it's just less muddy.
Yeah,
But I'll give you a hand.
you just need to get someone to use the mud.
Mm-hmm.
Less muddy.
Just less muddy. You got it? All right, way to go. So we just passed the other cutoff trail we would have done if we had not come down the meadow. We're about 2.8 miles to the next junction, which will be, I think, tomorrow night's camp, our last night. And then a couple more miles from there. But we're making, it's like 11 o'clock, we've been 6.5 miles. Everybody finally got their legs underneath them. We've seen 2 big groups, 10 or more people. So the terrain has definitely changed. We're in some dry country here after all the water we've been through. Everything's shriveled up. There's patches of sagebrush here and there. And I haven't seen a mosquito in ages. Map doesn't really show a climb, but we've gone up at least a contour level is all. And then we'll drop down the other side here and be at the Mountain Ash Creek section. So most of our groups run out of water. We should have filled everything up at the Rocky Ford because there's 2 crossings between here and there. We figured we'd just water there. One was a beaver pond, and I'm not a fan of getting beaver fever. And the other one was a mud hole. So Dan and I have trucked it up here ahead, and we had to be coming up on a campsite right here. It has water, and we could make a few liters of water and have it ready for them when they show up. All right, we went down to the river in this campsite, and I think it's 7U2. I'll have to check for sure. Sat for quite a bit. Everybody was completely out of water, so we all pounded our water bottles and then made more water and drank some more. Had a snack. This is the 110 site for this camp. It seems a little not horribly straight, but down at the fire and the bear hang is beautiful. Right next to the river, like right next to it. This is a pretty good one. Seems like maybe there's going to be another one this way, and then the bathroom is across the main trail. So yeah, it looks like people are tenting up here, but not quite as often. I think the trail's not real far from this spot. Anyway, let's go look at the sign. I'm pretty sure it's 9U2. Yes, 9U2 and 9U3 is right across the trail, but not on the river. Maybe on the river further down, because the river does a turn here. Oh yeah, and there's the trail right there. So that one campsite isn't terribly far from the trail. Okay, we made it to Mountain Ash Creek. Everybody's getting their shoes on, and people are just absolute scumbags when it comes to just leaving your garbage behind. Oh, that looks properly deep. I think it's less deep this way, dear. Like tremendously less deep. Yeah, it's way less shallow here, or more shallow. Oh, you're barefoot? Yowza. You should have. This seems horribly painful without shoes on. Go ahead, I'm fine. All right. I always watch all these videos. Everybody's always crossing on logs. We haven't seen one yet. Oy. Yeah, and then start. It does feel pretty good.
Great. It's nice and cold. What we're next to, something like this, is it?
I believe it's this creek, but another one merges right above us that's warm.
No, I'm just saying, is the water that we get from stuff like this
Yes.
tends to taste better?
Yes. I believe it's this river. Goes right past our campsite.
The other, like yesterday, it was great sitting and bathing.
Okay, campsite 9U3. I don't know if anybody's here or not, but we're going to do a quick tour on the way by. It looks like tent spot. I know it's got to drop down to the river somewhere. Maybe not. Maybe they have to go back to the crossing to get water. Man, this one's a ways in. I don't know how far I really want to go to see it. Oh, there's the bear hang. Yeah, the other one's a little nicer. It's right on the river. If you have to pick between these two, I would pick that other one all day long. I don't see a fire ring here, but there's your hang. And the campsites are like 20 feet from the trail, unless I'm missing something. Yes, I would take the other one over this one anytime. I mean, fires are allowed up here as far as I know. The other one had a fire pit. I don't see one here. And that's a pretty crazy, there's the trail to the toilet. Crazy, crazy. So 9U2 is better than 9U3, but in my opinion. So it's only my wife could do. She found the one huckleberry plant that had berries on it. So there was enough for everybody to have like two. It wasn't a full bush, but it was a nice little treat along the way anyway. And then these little plants, I find them in the Ioannis too, and I don't know what they are. They have little red berries on them. I thought they were bush cranberries at one time, but I don't think they are. Anyway, there's a couple of those. It's a nice little refreshing treat, but here we are hiking in. We're starting to see more signs for bear. We've actually seen bear poop. Saw some wolf poop too, and boy, are they big. Made almost entirely out of elk hair. Anyway, another week or so, these things are going to be loaded. But if anybody knows what that is, please tell me. I've been wondering for years. I find them in the Ioannis, which is the forest next to where I live, and I find them here. So we've turned off the fork that goes up to Union Falls. We're less than a half mile from our campsite and starting to pass people. Union Falls is like an 18-mile day hike, but a lot of people do it. There hasn't been anybody in the campsites around us or lower than us. I don't know if there's something in between, but 18 miles is a long ways, but we've hiked longer than that to see this, but saw some other stuff along the way. And we're definitely on a well-used trail. It's very dusty. Everybody looks like Pigpen. Okay, we are getting so close. We had a sign that said the footbridge was this way and our campsite was this way, but it didn't say how far. But I'm hoping, there it is right there. Oh, there is a footbridge. But there is our camp, 9U4, right here next to the river. I see the bear pole. Fire pit, and somebody gave us some wood. That's karma on Dan for leaving wood for the last crew. And bear hang. There's a camp spot here. There's one to the right and there's one straight ahead. So there's actually two here. So I very much approve. Yeah. Well, there's a spot for somebody here, a spot for somebody here, and a spot for somebody over there. I haven't seen the trail to the bathroom. That doesn't seem to go anywhere.